Hey there, everybody. This is Alan with Think Twice MTG. Um, and as you can see, there's something a little bit different on the screen. Um, so I am back on playing MTGO. So this is the beginning of that saga, I guess. Um, I played on here a couple years ago, and then just, because of life changes and whatnot, had to stop playing, but I'm back. Um, my goal is to hopefully put out maybe like 2 or 3 videos of me just like running a deck through a league each month is my goal kind of to start. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to say that I'm going to record everything that I play, but I feel like it's useful to do so. So I've got a few goals that I'm going to make sure I try to do while I'm doing this. One is to be fully engaged with the game, so I'm not going to be doing anything else at the same time. It's one thing that I've found myself kind of being susceptible to in playing games and stuff, where it's like, I'm kind of multitasking. I'm watching something and doing this, and I think this game at this level, when you play an MTGO, you're definitely on a different level of the game than you are, playing at FNM, sitting around with friends, playing stuff like that. I think it needs my full attention if I want to kind of give it my best. And also, so that's the first goal, is make sure I give my full attention. The second is make sure to not basically just not get tilted if stuff doesn't go my way. I think you definitely have to understand when you play a competitive game like this that there are going to be times that you lose, and it's just what's going to happen. You cannot win everything, so I'm trying to do that. Kind of stay emotionally level, not get too high or too low while doing it, and then also just try to play smart. So one of the reasons why I think recording this can be helpful is it kind of makes me want to talk out some of my thinking, and that way I don't necessarily act before I'm ready to. I know that in the past I've kind of had this worry about the match clock, and I need to be more okay with using more of the clock. It doesn't matter if I finish the end of the match with only 4 minutes left on the clock. I finish the match, and that's fine. So I'm really going to put that to the test here. My first league that I'm going to run through is with, as you can see in front of you, Yawgmoth, a very click-intensive deck on MTGO. I have just run through some practice matches with it just to make sure I remember how to use the UI, and the like, I know kind of where some of the clicks are. So hopefully I don't mess anything up. I've messed up a couple of things, like casting a Green Sun Zenith is a little bit wonky at times and things like that. I'm trying to not use any like shortcut keys necessarily. It was something I did in the past, and maybe I'll work back to it, but to help that process of not moving too quickly through things, not just getting used to, okay, click the button, click the button. I've got, a gaming mouse that has multiple programmable buttons on it, and I can set those to be, the defaulted hotkeys just to like pass priority or whatever. And I just want to make sure that I'm not rushing through stuff, not taking actions before I've thought them out. It's even something I've noticed in paper that I need to, make sure I'm focused on doing. So that is the goal. As like I said, as you can see, I'm going to run through this first league here with Yawgmoth. Fairly standard list. As I've mentioned before, if you've watched any of my other Yawgmoth content, one of the things I really like about the deck is the fact that it is highly customizable to whatever you feel is what you want the deck to do, what you want the deck to attack. But there are some mainstays. A couple of things you'll notice about my list is I do include an ignoble hierarch in here, so there is that. I do include, I've got 3 of the life gain effects. I've got 2 Dredger's Insight and a Prosperous Innkeeper. I find that I like having the ability to go get the creature version to then have this combo and not just have to hopefully draw the Dredger's Insight. And I've got one Formidable Speaker, new Lorwyn card, which I think is pretty good. I could see myself at some point playing 2 in the list, but right now I'm just running the 1 just to see kind of how it goes. Nothing too crazy in the sideboard, pretty standard type of stuff you're used to seeing, if not always used to seeing the exact card choices. But here we go. All right, first match. lost the die roll. All right. Gonna be on the play. I mean, on the draw. I know how words. Let's see. We got a halfling into insight and rumble, so this is a keep. My opponent is on a mulligan. And I can yield through my opponent's first turn. Arid Mesa. First thought then means Boros. I don't think I have anything different I'm going to do. So I'm going to pay 2 life, and I will play my halfling and say go. My only real choice there was to play my surveil land or not. And I think it's better in every single matchup to get the halfling down. So the elegant parlor does seem to say Boros energy. So I guess it's a test right away, right? Mountain. Oh, it's storm. Ooh, okay. Well, I think we need to kill this Ral. So this Grist turns out to be a good draw. Hopefully that slows him down just enough. Okay, second Ral. Okay, no land as a follow-up is good for me. Gosh. This being a tapped land is interesting. I'm going to activate Grist first because I have to do that. So is there anything we can do just to prevent ourselves from being dead next turn? I guess maybe the best option would be to see if we could find our endurance so that they can't win through a Past in Flames, I guess. Unfortunately, yeah, I think that's about my only option here. Well, we don't see any of those things. We will just take a Yawgmoth for Yawgmoth's sake. I have 4 mana. 2 creatures. If you draw land from there, I think we're going to bin this. I am going to do a touch of bluffing here, just to act like I have endurance to not F6 through the turn. Okay. But we very, very easily could be dead here. Valakut Awakening. Come on, Ral. Yay, Ral. Let's see. It should tell me. So drawing 4 cards. So they basically cycled their whole hand. All right, we're going to get a Reckless Impulse. Yeah, so we see a Grape Shot and a Ral. A Grape Shot would be for what, 4? Manamorphose, Valakut Awakening, Impulse, yeah. So they could kill my creatures, which would be something. If they have nothing else to do. Okay, yep. Hopefully they miss on... Okay, missing on the flip is good for me. I'm just going to yield through the turn now. Does not matter. Okay, yep, they should attack. So no matter what, I think... I guess let's see what I draw. I think maybe they're just not realizing that they're stopped in my upkeep. Riveting content. So even if I draw a land here, playing Yawgmoth doesn't get me anywhere. So I think I kind of have to, once again, just be able to play through the turn, kind of just hope to live to the next turn. So maybe try to set up from there. The fact that the other card they hit is a Ral is maybe fine. If they've got a couple of lands in hand, then, you know, not a terrible situation for me. I'm waiting on them. I think they think they're waiting on me. I don't know. I'm just going to skip all you guys ahead to when I get to move on. Oh, never mind. Look at that. Speak. And we see a Dryad Arbor. Okay, options are Badger Mole Cub into Dredger's Insight. Maybe find me a land, play the Halfling. I could go Badger Mole Cub into Prosperous Innkeeper into Delighted Halfling plus the Dryad Arbor, which really does set me up for my next turn to be able to play Yawgmoth and kind of maybe control this board. Well, I think we're going to start on Badger Mole. Always like earthbending onto the Surveil land if I can. I think Insight is going to be my best option here. Okay, I've got a Young Wolf or Formidable Speaker, Agatha's Soul Cauldron, and Spymaster's Vault. I think the Cauldron is going to be best. Is it the Cauldron? I don't have a green land, so yeah, we'll grab the Cauldron. And then we'll play the Dryad Arbor as our land for the turn. We can't play anything else. And once again, we cross our fingers. Okay, the land is good. Land is good for me. Even if they don't have much they can do, I think they're probably hoping to be able to like play a spell, flip the current Ral, then play the other Ral. So I would not be surprised to see a Ral flip here. Ooh, decline. Interesting. Ruby Medallion, Reckless Impulse. Do they play the Medallion? I guess it really depends on what the two unknown cards in their hand are. If they play the Medallion, I think that signals that they don't have much going on, so that's good. So this time they do transform. Interesting as to why they didn't do it last time. So here comes the ritual. I'm just going to yield at this point. I don't have anything to do, so... So there's Past in Flames, but they can't use them this turn. Other Ral, okay. Okay. All right, options, options, options. I could play Yawgmoth, have 2 mana remaining. We got a Grist in the yard with 3 young wolves. That's not fabulous. Unfortunately, I can't play the Yawgmoth and have enough power ready to attack down the flipped Ral. So, gosh, I wish I could discard this Yawgmoth, to be honest. Oh, I have a Yawgmoth in the yard. Okay. So I could play the Soul Cauldron, play both halflings, kill the current Ral. Oh, but I almost have to be able to hold up the Cauldron for a Past in Flames. Let's see, those cost 4. So they cost 3 down to 2. But you can't cast both and then cast one out of the yard. So I think I need to play the Cauldron for the fact that I just have to be able to stop the Past in Flames. So let's start with a Cauldron. As much as I want to be able to do that, like, I could put the Yawgmoth underneath the Cauldron and then float 2 mana, try to draw some more cards. But gosh, like, then I just die to the Past in Flames. So I think I have to hold it up. So then I think I'm just going to play my Yawgmoth. And from here, I can... Let's see. Do I want to start... Let's go to combat. Okay. Kind of hoping to find a land there. I think I just want to have this other Ral dead so that everything costs more. As much as it kind of hurts to sacrifice all of my board, I think that's what I want to do. I guess I don't stop the Pass in Flames by just holding up the Cauldron because I can just cast everything in the yard. Okay, so they have only one ritual. Let's see. So I know there's the Manamorphose, but all right. I'm not so sure that they've got another ritual in hand. That's probably game. They're at 4. They can go 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana, or 6, 7 grape shot. So I'm not dead yet. They've got to find more mana. And the Desperate Ritual that's in the yard right now does not have flashback. All right, that's good enough for me. Okay. Let's see what we're going to try to do here. I don't have the fly. Scavenging Ooze has some viability. The Force of Vigors, Haywire Might. I don't think they really play anything for free. I'm not going to try to destroy their lands. I don't think I want this. I don't think I want this. The other option is... So these are the potential cards I could bring in. I don't think Grist is fantastic. You know, otherwise I think this is kind of just a race. So if it's a race, do I just try to... I mean, do I just say that Grist just isn't very good then? Put both of them away? Having some answers for Oral seems good. It's 2. I'm not going to bring in the Scavenging Ooze. I'm not going to bring in the Haywire Might. I think I'm just going to bring in the pushes and the endurances. So I got to cut one more card. I'm going to cut a Yawg. It's just kind of expensive. And I will play first. Oh, the Dryad Arbor is awful in the opener. Okay. Well, this gets us somewhere close. I think it's the swamp. I mean, this is a ballista and a life gain effect away from a win. I know I said 2 of the 4 things I need, but yeah. Okay, opponent's on a mulligan to 5. We're just gonna run the Yawgmoth out. Okay. Say no prismatic ending. Let's go to combat. They just been to prismatic ending. Does that mean they have too many or they're looking for lands? I think on a mull to 5, I'm just going to risk there being another removal effect in their hand for my Cauldron, as much as it would not be great for me. Just going to yield to the end step. They do nothing. We're just going to eat the prismatic ending for no effect. Yield through the turn. We draw a Green Sun Zenith. Green Sun Zenith. We could go get Prosperous Innkeeper, so that we're just a ballista away from a win. Oh shoot, didn't want to play the Yawgmoth. Just got in my head. Oh, Prosperous Innkeeper is 2 mana. I have access to 3 mana when I do not. All right. Undo this. I mean, Manamorphose into Ren's Resolve. Two more of those effects. Into a Ritual. Are we just getting mulled to 5 turn 3 by Storm, where they didn't play anything until turn 3? This is definitely a matchup that I kind of just ignored in my sideboarding. Jeez. And they can cast Past in Flames. Start doing it all again. I mean, I don't think I stop anything by taking out a card here. But let's do our due diligence. I guess they're digging. So I guess we just take out, like, I guess I'll take out a Manamorphose as the best thing to take. As I was saying, I kind of don't really have anything in the sideboard for this matchup. You want, I guess, kind of just hope to either dodge it or just get good draws. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just make sure that I'm actually dead, because we haven't seen a grape shot out of them yet. There's wishes, and they can wish for a grape shot, and I'm sure they've got it. All right. Back here for round 2. Once again, we've lost the die roll. Opponent rolled a 2. We rolled a 1. This Dryad Arbor is just a menace in opening hands. No card shows up in opening hands more often. But this, like, this hand is Yawgmoth into Dredger's Insight, which loses to a lot of stuff. So I think it's worth a mulligan. This is a much better hand. I think the putback is Ballista, as much as it's probably useful. Bloodstained Mire into Swamp. Moonshadow, Bauble. Cool Moonshadow stuff. No response to your Bauble. You may draw a card. Hey, Ballista. We're just gonna run the halfling out here. Two Moonshadow. Interesting to getting the Swamp instead of like a shock land. Oh, is this the one that's using like some sort of cards to combo all the counters off of like Moonshadow onto something else? Yeah, okay. Why would you not play the Hex Mage before you attacked and just make your Shadow a 7/7? That confuses me, but okay. So I'm gonna grab a forest because I'm gonna need life total. So this is the way I like to do this. I like to use my lands, even though I am going to Earthbend onto one of them, because if in response to Earthbending, say they killed my Badgermaul Cub, I could still tap my Halfling for 2 mana, which I think is important. I'm somewhat tempted just to play a 1/1 Ballista to block. That's what I'm going to do. Like, there's nothing useful to do with the Cauldron yet. The Dredger's Insight is just kind of a setup card. So this way, if they take all the counters off of the Moonshadow, I can then just chump block it and then ping them. Okay, Overlord. Interesting note here, even if I had Cauldron, Cauldron cannot interrupt the middle of this. Looks like they can grab a Street Wraith. I had to turn off my yields because I want to be able to use the Ballista after I block. So grab the Street Wraith, cycle the Street Wraith, not surprising. Now, interestingly, if they don't want me to block with the Ballista, they can use their Hex Mage to remove the counters from it. But likely they'll want to okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to blocks. I'm going to block this Moon Shadow. And then before... Oh, it has Menace. Oh, I forgot. That's... No bueno. Forget that this card has Menace. New card does new things. Alright, well... Thing we've learned. Well, I can at least stop that. They should sack it, remove all these counters so they have 2 large Moon Shadows is what they should be doing. So they have a 7/7 and a 6/6. I'm going to go down to 7 mana. Or 7 life. Mana. God. Words are hard. Jeez. Really wanted to get off to a better start than losing the first match and being... Oh, they removed it from the Overlord. Okay. Stranglerootgeist. Stranglerootgeist. So I can gain... Oh, I can just win right here. Right? Yeah. So I can tap this for black. It adds a green. I don't know, I can't win, but I can get a super high life total. So they can disrupt this if they have endurance here. But they don't. So I'm going to be here clicking for a second. In paper, this is nice because you can just shortcut it and you demonstrate the loop and say, I'm going to do it this many times. And so I just usually say, like, oh, my life total is 10,000. And then people concede. But not always the case here. Luckily, this isn't too difficult to click through. I'll get to a point where I do something like make my life, 50 plus. And then I can win next turn as long as they don't have some sort of graveyard interaction by using then the Spy Master's Vault. Kind of nice if it only had the one Walking Ballista ability right now, so I could just click, click, click. So the reason I'm not just like stopping and saying, oh, I can just, do this whenever I want is that when they have mana open, they might have some way to interact with any part of this. So if they do, I want to have gained enough life that I feel like I've bought myself the requisite time, because like I am being attacked by a decent amount of life, so it's not like I've just bought myself infinite turns here. I think I'm just gonna go for another 20 seconds or something like that, and then I'll pass. Not stopping at that number. I'll just go to 70. Oh, yeah, I think they thought they were going to chapter 3. All right, cool. Got there. Okay. So we probably want some amount of this removal. They do have a lot of fun things they put in their yard, so maybe Scavenging Ooze. Hairmite could be interesting because of Urza Saga, just to be able to get rid of that, which also makes us want to consider the Fulminators, but I don't think it's enough of their strategy to need to do that. Are there cards that are not good? This is really the harder part of playing Yawgmoth, is knowing like what's not good. So I think I can employ just the like trim strategy. So I think I want the fatal pushes just to be able to slow them down. I don't know if I have 5 cards I want to take out is my problem here. Like Yawgmoth in these types of matchups is good, so I don't want to take that out. Grist is good. If they have Nethergoyf, Endurance is okay, but I think I can say Endurance can be a cut. You can cut 1 Yawgmoth. You can cut the Ignoble Hierarch. But like, man. Is there anything else that I feel like I can cut? I mean, I could cut 1 Ballista for a second push. Maybe I'll do that. This is in no way an exact science. Oops, I forgot to take out the other push. Well, we're running 61. So maybe what I need to start doing is not putting the cards into the deck that I'm thinking of bringing in and just move them over to the side. But I am fine keeping this hand. Opponent is on a mulligan, and they did choose to play first. Okay, Nethergoyf is a thing. So I'm just going to play the Halfling because I think I need to maximize my ability to have 2 mana on next turn. Because then I could like rumble, find another land, then maybe like use the push or play the Haywire Might or, something like that. Interesting both times, even though they are a black-green deck, they've just fetched a swamp on turn 1. Not exactly sure why. And then they fetch the Overgrown Tomb. Okay, I need to read this card. So when it enters and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, create a clue. Whenever you attack, put X +1/+1 counters on target attack. Creature X is the number of permanents you've sacrificed this turn. Okay. Well, that's not fantastic, so I think we need to do what we talked about and look for a land. We don't find a land. That is very unfortunate. Do I play anything out here? I think no. I think I've just got to try to play for a bigger turn where I can accelerate out. Okay. No cards that miss. Dreams of Steel and Oil, Pithy Needle, Boseiju, Urza Saga. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen an Overlord miss. Okay, they can't sacrifice with just that. This Nethergoyf is rather large. They have like a Thoughtseize or just a Fatal Push for my Halfling. That's not great for me. That is no bueno. Really need to draw a land here. Land. Not a land. God, that is terrible for me. It's probably just karma for not boarding out that other push. I think this turn I just have to say I'm going to buy myself a turn. They haven't played any other threats. Like, that's probably the best possible outcome is they just have to start sacking clues here. And it sucks that they have them to sacrifice, but better than, like, playing another threat or... Yeah, like, that was the best way that turn could have turned out for me. Can we draw a land, please? Can we do it? So, like, they're not playing threats. They've just been playing lands and drawing cards. So, likely, that what they have in their hand is things like Fatal Push. So, I can't just be relying on my stuff to survive. So, like, I could Zenith for, say, Dryad Arbor, but then it might just die. And then I'm just set behind again. So I think I'm just going to play Yawgmoth and count my lucky stars that at the moment, my opponent is not really doing anything offensive. I don't know if a list like this plays Bowmaster. The only reason I'm thinking about that is because if they play Bowmaster, you don't want to put on the yield through the turn, because then if they play Bowmaster and they target the spawn, you can sack it to deny the Orc army. But I haven't seen it yet. I don't really expect it in this kind of list. They seem to be a little more kind of like almost mini combo-y with things like Obsessive Pursuit and the Vampire Hex Mage. So like at some point when we're 15 cards in, we'll draw more than one land. And then maybe we could start doing a thing. You know, you could get Grist into play. So Witherbloom command. It's just Drain and Gain and that thing. Okay. Like, worse things could have happened. Good gravy. um, do I just do something like play the Haywire Might? Or do I try to high roll a Dryad Arbor Living? X is 0. And at some point, my opponent is going to draw another threat. Yep, that's kind of what we figured. Second Overlord. All right, they can get another Goyf here, which is pretty good. It is another Thoughtseize me. Why Thoughtseize instead of play the Nethergoyf? Like, I don't have any lands. Like, you just have to get the threat down and hope that you just beat me on the fact that I just can't cast spells. Oh, hallelujah. So I could play the Haywire Might. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a Cauldron. So the thing I haven't seen out of them is something that like allows them to haste a creature. Didn't they got another Nethergrowth last turn? Why are they not playing it? Confuses me. Double Nethergrowth is sure something. Like I still might just very easily be dead here. So like I can play the Haywire Might. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Haywire Might and I'm going to pass. The plan is to put Ballista underneath the Soul Cauldron. Oh, I guess I can't necessarily do it that way, unfortunately. I don't want to give them the... Well, so I... Oh, it's a non-creature enchantment? Oh, that's a poop and a half to in front of my face. I was gonna think to use the Ballista, put a counter on both of these things, block the two Nethergrowths, use the Haywire Might to exile the Overlord, you know, ping some stuff. Wonder what they have. So, are they just trying to sacrifice a bunch of clues because then whatever they put these counters on gains lifelink? So the upside here, well, and they're gonna gain as well. So whatever they put the life link on, I'm gonna block with the Haywire Might so that I can deny the life link. All right, let's see. Overlord ability is good. They have access to a Hex Mage or something. I mean, they're tapped out, so I'm not worried here. The thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just win with this Ballista. Okay. So they put that there. So that is getting blocked by the Haywire Might. I will block one of these. I'm going to put the Ballista stuff here. Okay. So then I'm going to get rid of this Obsessive Pursuit. Priority, please. Now I can make it so my Yawgmoth will return. So I hit them for 3, and then I have a Walking Ballista Yawgmoth. And that's match. There we go. Felt good to get back on track here. Update our record. And hopefully to keep it going. Stick with us. Hey, on the play for match 3. Pretty cool. I will play first. Not a very good hand. You're doing Surveil turn 1, Rumble turn 2, Grist turn 3 with double Smymaster's Vault. I think I'm going to mulligan. Not really a better hand, but I guess we just keep on the power of Rumble. Opponent is also on a mulligan. Just Catacombs and pass. Wooded Foothills. Wooded Foothills. We'll see what Wooded Foothills means. Formidable Speaker. I think we say no to that. Man. Let's rumble. Of these, I think I'm just going to take the Badger Mole. Hedge Maze. So is this the Birthing Ritual deck? Oh, no. It's a Neoform. So, there is a world where I'm just dead right now. Oh, not this world. Okay. Alright. What can we do against Neoform? There's not a lot, I don't think. So, let's see. What can we do this turn? I could just play a Yawgmoth. I could play a land into Badgermole Cub, into Young Wolf, and then just set up for Yawgmoth next turn. I think that's probably the best option. I don't think Besajuing a land does anything here. They will have forests. They have access to another blue source. Yeah, I think we're just going to say nothing. I don't have any interaction right now, so it doesn't really make a difference here. So this is the type of matchup where it would be nice to have Thoughtseize in the sideboard. I just find that unless I'm putting in all 4 Thoughtseizes, I don't really feel like I find them very often, and because like your main drawing ability in Yawgmoth is with like stuff like Rumble, I don't really feel like I feel like you just have to hope to see it in your opener, and otherwise you're just not finding it at the right time. So the fact that they've been to Numori and they've been to Consign and they haven't played anything tells me that like they're missing a key piece. So whether that's they need like the Neoform effect or they need the Allosaurus Rider or something, they don't have something that they need at the moment. I don't know if I really have the ability to do much in terms of stopping them in this, and I kind of just might have to try to combo faster. But I don't have some of the pieces I need for a really fast combo here. Next turn, I'll be able to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I can get a Yawgmoth into play, have 2 mana remaining. Draw some cards, see where I can get, I guess. Alright, the shock tells me maybe we're Eldritch Evolutioning. Okay, so Nourishing Shoal. Wow, this is Nourishing Shoal. This is like the older version. Oh, they need to play the Hooting Mandrills, Neoform into whatever. Atraxa, okay. Let's see. Summoner's Pact, Planar Genesis, Forest, Eldritch Evolution, Preordain, Allosaurus Rider, Planar Genesis, Consign, Neoform, Misty Rainforest. There's a little bit of a difference between like a combo deck like this or Storm and what I'm playing in Yawgmoth. Because these are kind of all-in speed combos, and Yawgmoth is a much more interactive combo that is going to be more able to win some of the matchups that are generally difficult. So they have Allosaurus Rider, Consign, Neoform, Forest. Okay, so those are the 4 cards they kept in their hand. Once again, I don't think using the Spasaju does anything for me. I don't think that... So we'll grab a forest. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that what I want to do? I'm trying to think if I need to be able to keep open the Spy Master's Vault, or if I just say I'd rather have this spawn token to draw more cards with the Yawgmoth to potentially get to something. Because I could kill 1 creature, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then connive. What can I find for 2 mana that would help me win the game this turn? I'm not sure, but I am going to... Oh, wait. Hold on. I have to use a black mana, so we're actually going to undo all of this. We're going to go... So that's a black and a green. I have to have double black mana, so never mind on the Spy Master's Vault plan. Activate here, target there, sacrifice here. Will always yield. Always yield. Second Yawgmoth. Second Yawgmoth means I could just continue to draw cards, but once again, what can I find here that can yield a win? So we'll target here, sacrifice here. Dredger's Insight. Dredger's Insight means that I could continue drawing at essentially not a loss of life, but I mean, I guess it is a piece that I would need. I don't know if they can kill me next turn. Well, let's play the Insight. I guess let's take the Halfling. I think I'm good there. We'll move on. I can reset the Yawgmoth if I need to. So Allosaurus Rider, Veil of Summer, and another Allosaurus Rider went. So here's the Neoform. Can't do anything to stop it. This gets Galta. You put a number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield, and they Summoner's Pact in response, and they're going to find Xenagos, and I'm just, yeah, I don't win this game. Okay, I feel like the Vexing Bauble's good. That is the thing that I feel, is that the Vexing Bauble is good. I think Grist is bad. Is there anything else? So this is where you would just say, okay, I want my thought seizes, but I don't have thought seizes. I don't think they really care much about their graveyard, so I don't feel like bringing in endurance is any sort of useful sort of thing for me. So I could take out the endurance if there's something else I feel is good to bring in. Like, do I just want to bring in like fulminator mages just to try to take them off of um I feel like this is not a very good sideboard plan, but um like I could take out like a Dredger's Insight or something to get the last fulminator mage in. I'm not loving this plan. Feel like I just kind of have to be faster than they are, which is going to be tough. Um, anything different I want? Anything that disrupts any of their stuff? Is there anything that disrupts what they do? I guess we'll just. This feels terrible. But we'll go first again. Once again, not a good opening hand. Okay, this is better. So we'll keep this. I think I'm just going to put back the innkeeper. Not a good sign if my opponent's keeping 7. Don't have another land, which is a bummer. So I can green sun for an ignoble hierarch, which would allow me to X currently 1, which will allow me to cast some of these other spells. Okay. Access to 4 mana. Oh, it's only hits non-basics. Great. Okay, Planar Genesis. Just kind of like Storm, this does not feel like a very good matchup for me. I don't really know what would make it a good matchup, to be honest. Like, having two Thoughtseize in my board doesn't make me feel all of a sudden like I'm like, ooh yeah, now I'm set. Yep, there's an Allosaurus Rider. And they have a Neoform that I can't do anything about. And there's a Gulta. And there's your Summoner's Pact. So this card has Trample, and it's a 26/26. So it doesn't matter what I do. And look, there you go. Now we're dead. Woo! Uh, man, we've gotten absolutely just slobber knockered in two matchups. So hopefully we bounce back in the next one. All right. Man, these have been some bad hands. We can keep this one. Let's put back the Ballista. Still not a great hand. Well, that's a better... Couldn't have asked for much more of a better draw. So just straight up Boros. If they attack, what does it mean? With a white mana available. Okay, we don't have to worry about it. Just second pride. Okay, well, let's go Badger Mole. Then we'll Rumble. We have another land, so I guess we'll grab another creature then. And then we'll say pass. Oh, here comes Flage. Flage always comes down. It's always Flage. Oh. That's fine. Look at this nice swamp that I have. This taps for black. What do I want to do now? Well, we can draw a card, getting rid of this. We draw another halfling. Then let's play this, put the halfling underneath it, put the counter on the Badger Mole Cub. Let's do this. And okay, well, Our opponent's being salty by being, oh, lucky with the swamp, and then he says boring deck when he's playing Boros Energy. So that's fine. People can salt off all they want. So I'm thinking those. I like the Scavenging Ooze against Boros. I don't know what FPT means. What do we not like against Boros? I think like our Hierarch isn't as good. I think our Innkeeper isn't as good. Yawgmoth is good against Ragavan, but they're probably going to board those out. So I can trim a Yawgmoth. Do I want my second endurance? Do I want my second endurance? I don't think I want my second endurance. This isn't fantastic. Do I keep on the strength of Fatal Push? Sure. Best answer to Ragavan. Okay. They're just trying to Blood Moon me again. What do I want to grab here? Do I want to Surveil? I mean, I have access to Beseiju. Let's see. Can Green Sun for something? I can. Green sun for a badger mole, maybe? X is currently 2. Note to everybody out there, Blood Moon isn't a good play against Yawgmoth. The deck just has too many other ways to produce mana, you know, through creatures and stuff that it doesn't really actually shut you down. Okay, Guide of Souls. Another Fable. Okay. Do I just attack with my cub? I think I'm going to attack with my cub. Well, that's what I'm going to use my Viseju on. I'm fine just taking this hit. People don't be like this opponent where you have to make comments on everything and are all upset at just everything. Like, so that's 6 damage to my Badger Mole Cub. So yeah, that's just, yep, okay. See if they want to kill my Dryad Arbor by sacking a creature. And they don't, and that's fine. So I cannot cast this Yawgmoth. Don't have anything with good abilities to put underneath the cauldron. Man, I just don't have a whole lot going on at the moment. Despite the fact my opponent's acting like I'm just, you know, getting as lucky as can be. Yep, another Guided Soul. So now they can just make a bunch of reflection. Rumble would be good. A Ballista would be good. Grist would be fine. No, opponent has lost connection to the game. Cool. Jump you guys ahead too. Oh, he's back. Every time I keep on saying I'm gonna like jump you guys ahead, then the stuff returns. Maybe. Maybe we're doing something. Okay, inside something. I can't find another black source. So let's see, even if I... So I'm going to do it this way because if I hit a halfling... Oh, I still won't have enough mana. But, oh no, I could. I could do it with a halfling. I guess I'll take the Strangleroot Geist. I'll put the Grist under the Cauldron here. Yep, the Guide of Souls is really supercharging this. So this is 3, 5, 7, 9. Would put me to 10. I don't really know what I can draw here. So we'll just do this. Yeah, that's enough. All right. So I could consider the Haywire Might and the Outland Liberator as well, now that I know they're playing the the Fables. Not the Scavenging News. The Geist. So I can see taking out the Geist for one of them. Is the Haywire Mite going to be better? I think the Haywire Mite's going to be better. We'll play first. Gosh. Terrible hand. Much, much better hand. So we'll be putting back a Mortuary. Unfortunately, I don't have much to do with all of this mana. I'm going to play the Wooded Foothills so I can get a forest. This says to me that maybe there's an Ajani coming. Do I just want to hit my opponent for 6? And then play out the other Badger Mole? I'm going to hold off on this Badger Mole. The turn 2 bombardment is generally a signal that there's an Ajani coming. They want to be able to flip the Ajani right away. Which would mean they could do something like use the bombardment to flip the Ajani, hit my Overgrown Tomb, or, you know, like they could kill my Badger Mole or my Scavenging News potentially. could be a touch of lag here. Had a little bit at the beginning of my opponent's first turn, second turn, whatever. Okay. Flage, yeah. Okay. Yep, we're gonna kill the Scavenging Ooze, then sacrifice the Flage. I mean, maybe they kill my Overgrown Tomb here. Yep, that's fine. We will not pay 2 life. Don't pay 2 life. We're gonna Surveil. Opponent didn't. Well, okay. That's a pretty good draw. Yep, I drew 4 of card in my deck. Oh no. There's people like this that whenever they just draw hot, like my opponent did last time after he got out of cards, just only drew action every turn. They're like, oh, that's the way it's supposed to go. And anytime their opponent does it, it's like, oh my god, you got so lucky. It's like, I drew a card in my deck, man. Like being this kind of person does not add any benefit to your life. It doesn't make you happier. It doesn't get you more out of anything. So just like, if he wants to deny my card draw here, he can. Dealing a damage to the Badger Mole Cub, that is fine. So I'm going to float some green mana and sack this. Oh wait, hold on. I need to go this, done, sacrifice. Bin this. Do I keep drawing cards or do I just attack? Gosh, it feels silly to have all of this mana and not do anything with it, but like, I don't know. I just don't have much going on besides the fact that now I have all this. Um, let's see if we draw something else. Discard 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Let's put a ballista. Yep. I don't know. This is ah ha ha ha. You choose your cards. You're just saying like I get lucky off of drawing 6 cards. I don't know. I'm not gonna bother with it. But we won there, so that's good. So we got a chance to finish out positive. We'll see if we can do it. All right, here we are for the final one. We are on the play this time. I would like to play first. It's again not great hands, but the Rumble, Cauldron, and Yawgmoth all seem good enough that I can say keep for this one. So we are gonna go get us an Overgrown Tomb, which allows us to, we already have the swamp, and then we can just get a forest likely with the other one. Flooded Strand. Flooded Strand. Could be Boros, could be something. I'm just going to attack first. Ooh, with the exclamation point, our opponent hit us. Decided to be a nice guy and do the good luck, have fun after the last match was full of a sourpuss. A stinky little sourpuss. Okay, let's see. I like that under there. We'll just take the Badger Mole Cub and yield through the turn. See what our opponent's on. Shadowy Backstreet, okay. Faithful Mendings, this is my guesses than Goryo's, which makes me love having 2 Soul Cauldrons. Frog, okay. Frog stuff. Ooh, Yawgmoth. Can we get a Yawgmoth into play? I don't think we need to try to get Yawgmoth into play this turn. I'm going to play my Badger Mole into a Soul Cauldron, though. I'm just going to get a forest. Kind of wish I still had a green card in hand, but yeah, force is good here. I cannot create 2 more mana, so we just say yield through the turn. No reason to attack with the Yawgmoth. I mean, hopefully we don't just get hit with a frog, discard a Atraxa, and oh, hey, look, here it comes. There it is. I guess as an option, maybe I could have played better. So what I should have done is I should have just played a Soul Cauldron, gets Force of Negation, play the other Soul Cauldron, and then also have Endurance Badger Mole as a backup. I mean, this doesn't mean the game's over here. Marsh Flats, Gristlebrand, Prismatic Ending. Okay, well, so can't block anything, so I'm taking a big hit. Down to 7. Oh, do they have the... Oh, they found it. They didn't have one of the 2 pieces. I guess maybe they had it and they just did it. Waited anyway. Yeah, I should have played safer. You know, in hindsight. They do say that that is always 2020. You know, or if I'd had a green card in hand, this would have been fine because then I could have enduranced. But, you know, with 2 cauldrons and an endurance plus green card in hand, I never should have been gotten by this. Gorya's Vengeance, Watergrave Solitude. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to try to win this turn, and I really don't know if I can do that. So I can get Yawgmoth into play. I think that's where I have to start. I mean, the frog is also going to be lethal here. Yep, so we get solituded. Um, hmm. What'd they pitch? Prismatic ending that I didn't know about. So the Atrax is a 4. Frog is bigger than that. They can just discard enough stuff. Yeah, we're just gonna go to game 2. Should have done better. Do they cast? I mean, so maybe Vexing Bauble. Maybe. I do like Endurance. I do like Scavenging Ooze. Maybe a couple of pushes for those frogs, but I don't know if that's really necessary. So definitely these two more graveyard hate cards. But I mean, like, I already have a decent number of good cards. You could see Tremini Ballista. You could see Tremini Yawgmoth. I think Grist is fine. Maybe even good. You know what? Let's just do this. We've got a lot of good tools. I don't need the vaccine bauble or anything. So maybe we just play a little smarter this time. I do like the fact that we have the Soul Cauldron. We can make it uncounterable. So even though we have the Dryad Arbor in hand, we are going to keep. Opponent goes down to 6. Do I want to get anything else into play besides a Dryad Arbor? No, I'll just play Dryad Arbor for the turn. Okay, Wrath. That is an answer to my Soul Cauldron eventually. So, Frog. Frog coming in. Frog coming in is fine. Yep. Okay. Ooh. Dredger's Insight. I like Dredger's Insight. Yep. Okay. Do I want to cast the Halfling? I'm going to cast a Yawgmoth instead into this, and then I'm going to plan to Surveil. No response to the Riddler. Riddler does its thing. Yep. Makes sense. Draw 2. Yep. So they could discard 2 more cards to draw 2 if they feel like they have 2 cards that don't matter here. They've decided not to do that. I guess they could still do it, but why wouldn't you do it before damage? Huh. I was like, you could have just done 2 more damage to me. mean, maybe there's making sure I didn't have like a push. All right, find ourselves something good. We don't need that. Let's hit a Faithful Mending. Go to our turn. Rumble is good. Let's take the Insight. Well, I guess we'll take a backup Cauldron. Is there any of the stuff that I want here? No. So I am facing down a frog that is just beating my face in. So, not fantastic. And now let's see. Wrath of Skies hits Artifact Creature Enchantment. So now next turn they could go land Wrath and get my whole board, which wouldn't be fantastic. Yep, makes sense. There's that Wrath. Alright, we'll take out this Faithful Mending in response. Luckily, we do have another Cauldron to rebuild with. Haha. I'm left with a creature. The mighty Yawgmoth. Well, hopefully they don't have Force Blue card. They didn't have it. Oops. I wanted to hit the frog. That was a mistake. Should have hit the frog. And we pass. Another Faithful Mending, yep. Yawgmoth? Jeez. We're just gonna get Ulamogged. They're just gonna be through it. Come on. 14. And it has Annihilator 7. That was rough. That was real rough. Opponent had a lot of stuff. So we end there 2-3. I think I should have been a lot more. I should have played a lot better in that first game of that last match. We definitely got definitely felt outclassed in those two combo matchups that we played against. I don't know if there's really a whole ton I feel like I can do. One thing that I wonder about in this deck is these fulminators, if they should be in the sideboard or not. We could take out the fulminators and maybe put in thought seizes or something different. The Haywire Might was good that one game where I could use it to sacrifice, but not necessarily my favorite card. So these 4 cards are somewhat iffy. Never got to really use the Formidable Speaker to see what that could do. One nice thing is this deck feels really good against Boros. So there's that. But yeah, maybe a couple of changes. I don't know. In my local in-person meta, Tron and Eldrazi big mana variants are very popular, so these feel really good. But I don't think they're as useful here. And, considering that the Thought Seizes could be good in some other matchups, that maybe we should put some Thought Seizes in the deck. Yeah, I'm also unsure about the Murderous Cut. It'd be nice to have stuff like Riddler, but if you're trying to play a Riddler game against the combo deck, I think I'm fine with you doing that if that's your plan, is to like Riddler and blink it and be good there. So could have made some better plays at a couple of different points. And I think maybe shifting up some of these card slots could be good. But no, that was our first run at it. Even if we didn't do the best here, let me know if you like, being able to see a little bit more, kind of competitively focused, play on MTGO here, stuff like that. So it's something I'm looking to do a little bit more of going forward. So those of you who watch, thanks for watching. Like the video, comment, do that sort of stuff. Subscribe to the channel. That's the biggest one, in my opinion. Just so you end up seeing stuff. We get more consistent viewers and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.